So first off, can you go into how you got in athletic training?
So I left school briefly, became certified to be a personal trainer. That was like my regular work. And then I went back to school at Texas State and did my bachelor's in exercise and sports science, and my minor in sports psychology. From there, worked privately as a coach and facility owner for several years in many different capacities, and then did my master's about 4 or 5 years into that in Australia with Trinity University, and that was a master's in strength and conditioning. And then all throughout that, I had started working with Trinity in 2007, 2008 with the women's volleyball program. And
so you mentioned you were overseas in Australia. Is there any, what you liked about that? Are there any differences between, maybe United?
I thoroughly enjoyed doing my master's there because of the collaborative nature of their culture, I would say largely, it made working in that school structure as well as the systems that they had and how things were communicated, like it was an incredible experience for me. I worked with a lot of top practitioners, like Australia's famous throughout Olympic sport and pro sport for being like a world leader in sports science and strength and conditioning.
As far as I know, you've done like presentations with NFL teams. Are there any that you remember as being like maybe your favorite one you've done? Or
Yeah. So with NFL specifically, I worked with the Philadelphia Eagles, and that was one of the more long-term projects. So like I did an initial presentation with them along with several other teams, one of which was the New Zealand Hurricanes, and one was Saracens Rugby, which is those are both famous rugby programs. And the Eagles decided following that they wanted to bring me in. And so I came on as a consultant and presented to their staff, and it was a really great experience. We did some hands-on stuff where I actually got in the weight room and explored like strength and power development with them, as well as doing a presentation essentially on the same methods.
All right, so now moving into more of the Trinity, what we have here.
Sure.
So with the SPC, how does it compare to other places you worked, especially, and then also other improvements, or is there anything that like you don't have that maybe would help out?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's one of those things, like I call my perspective on things gratitude with attitude, because I think we're incredibly fortunate to have the facility that we have here. Sornex is definitely like one of the top equipment companies, and they did a pretty good job of equipping our facility. There's some room to be desired in how we handle return to sport and return to play, which is generally, when you're speaking of injured athletes, a lot of our setup is biased towards barbell style lifting, and for athletes who have previous injuries, barbells can be challenging to implement, so that makes it a little bit challenging.
So last question, what do you enjoy most about working here at Trinity with the students? Is there?
I guess just working with our teams, like every team is a little bit different, so there's some nuance to that. I always put it, there's a famous wooden quote where he says, "I like everyone different, but I love you all the same." Like that's pretty much the way that I approach things.
Yeah.
Like every team has idiosyncratic behavior that makes it either sometimes easier or harder to get through to them on certain things, and some people are really good at some things and not good at the other things, and vice versa. So it really is a balancing act, especially with the large number of teams that we do have. But I think largely our student athletes are receptive to learning and making changes and improvements, and that makes my job with respect to that part of it pretty easy.